Hello, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at long last, the Fatal Fluffy Cobra Beast action figure, the supersized O-ring that is part of Super 7's ReAction Plus line. I actually already unboxed a Fatal Fluffy on a live episode of Audible Interlude a few weeks ago, but it's just taken time for me to get two of each of the Wave 2 figures so that I would have additionals to unbox. And I've got a total of 3 Fatal Fluffies because I do want to have 2 on display and 1 mint in box because I am currently doing 1 to open and 1 mint in box for this entire line. But I feel like I've been waiting years and years and years for Fatal Fluffies, and I just want to have 2 of them. I don't need 4. I know some people are doing 4 and more. I don't need all that, but I do want to have 2 on the shelf. That's just, I don't know, that felt like my bare minimum. Well, to be honest, 4 felt like my bare minimum, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend $80 on 4 of the same figure like this. There's too much other stuff coming out. Packaging is fantastic. You've got the white border. You've got Real American Hero, Cobra Enemy. The art, obviously, is obscured by this massive blister that's on the card. And then we've got the detail of the weapons here on the side, includes Cobra Blaster Pistol and Whip. And the fact that this giant figure, larger than any of the other O-rings produced thus far, including Raymar, has 2 accessories as well, and yet is the same price as the rest of the figures in the wave. You know, say what you will about Super 7's pricing, but they, again, I feel like they just put a lot of effort into putting out the coolest stuff that they can in the best way possible. We have a brand new file card, although this is interesting, grade Animal Men. I have not been reviewing these as I've been going through these reviews because we'll be doing that on Audible Interlude. I just love that we're getting these brand new file cards, that they went to the effort to create these. And if you didn't watch my review of Duke or Serpentor, which you should, I noticed that those are new file cards as well, specifically relevant to the Sunbow versions of those characters. Again, Super 7 knows what Dave wants. Okay, let's open this guy up for the second time. And I will say the unboxing that I did on Audible Interlude was during our Audible Rumble, which was 30 Joe characters enter, only 1 may leave, Royal Rumble style. We did that as a, you know, I try and time stuff to match up with, you know, other things that are going on in the world. So we did a Joe Rumble, and I happened to have my new Fatal Fluffy figure, and I thought it would be really funny to bring it out still packaged during the Rumble and then just kind of lose my mind and rip it open professional wrestler style. So I did. Since I have 2 of these, because right now the one that I opened in the Audible Rumble is holding both weapons, but I think what I'll probably do is give one of them the whip and one of them the blaster, and that justifies having only 2. Although I guess if I were going to get more, one of them could be completely unarmed. Like, that would be okay. And then maybe one of them could have 2 blasters. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and justify buying 2 more of these because I really don't want to. Again, there's just too much stuff coming out. I don't need to spend that much money on essentially the same item. But you can have 2 relatively different looks for the Fatal Fluffies. So, as with all the ReAction Plus figures so far, plastic feels good. Using the waist, he can achieve a sitting position pretty nicely. All the joints are great. And this is something that I noticed. I'll go ahead and zoom in. It's kind of wild how thin the plastic is on that swivel. You can see right here, there's just a really thin piece, but the connection feels really, really sturdy. And again, the plastic that they're using for these feels good and solid. Look at that face. I adore those giant green eyes. Kind of the offset horns. And he has got That neck joint is an up and down. It's got a little side to side as well. But the fact that they made the head movable at all. Gosh, I kind of want to open this guy up. Maybe we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and open him up. And then I just want to see what a figure this big with this different a design looks like on the inside. Like what the engineering is. So he's got a standard size screw. That's wacky. All right. Can we even get him apart? That head is making it difficult, which means I hope doesn't mean he's going to be difficult to put back together. Oof. I might abandon this because I've got a feeling I'll tell you what, here, I'm going to finish looking at the figure and then I'll finish the video taking him apart. Because I have a feeling it might be a challenge to get him back together. Okay. So anyway, talked about the head articulation. Got a huge range right there, so you can be kind of hunched over. And they have almost a little pre-bend on the knees, like his legs are naturally just a little crooked there. But all the sculpted detail looks absolutely fantastic. The hair. What a creature design. The belts, where did those come from? I don't know. I don't understand how Fatal Fluffies work. Just a big, giant, great-looking figure. Oh, speaking of being large, he is coming in at... He is a little taller than Raymar. Or I guess it is a little taller. Just a little taller than Raymar. Raymar comes in at 4.5 inches, and the Fatal Fluffy is about 4.75 inches. So he is even... I mean, I knew he was bulkier, but he is a little taller as well. And that puts him, significantly larger than Duke and a standard, sorry, let me recenter there. Significantly larger than the standard size ReAction Plus figures, which he needs to be. He should have been. But I appreciate that they didn't just make this bulkier but no taller. They went for it and made a big, giant figure out of this guy. I think that's fantastic. So he comes with a Fatal Fluffy blaster that fits right into that hand, either hand. And then I seem to remember having a lot of trouble getting the whip to fit. Now the whip is just kind of sculpted. I mean, it's not going to break on you. It's not like, what was the... it was one of the WWE Masters of the Universe figures. The Junkyard Dog figure had a similar type of thing. I think it was a chain, and every single one of them was broken in the box. It was ridiculous, but you've got good flexibility here. Obviously, you can't pose it, but I mean, this is how this whip would have been made back in the day. And you just kind of push that into place. Oh, wait, I guess you don't want to go in that way. Probably the other way. There you go. Something like that. So both accessories work very well. So let's pop those out. Take one more look at that face. Oh, it's great. And now let's see if we can get this guy taken apart, because I really do want to see the design of this interior. I also don't want to break my new figure. Let's see. There, oh, we're getting there. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So obviously, you know, this, like anything else, nothing interesting there. This, on the other hand, look at that. Wow. How cool is that? So there's a T, there's a swivel at the top of the T, and that is how that works. And if you go in there, kind of like I had to with Duke, and really get to where you loosen this up, I bet when we put him back together, he's going to have just a little more, because this is a sort of flexible plastic. I bet he's going to have a little more range as far as the head swivel goes. When I put him back together, not a ton more. Ugh, this is going to be tricky. I hope this isn't one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, I can't manage this while I'm recording. I think I can make it happen. And part of the reason why is just the largeness of the figure. I think everything's going to stay in place a little bit. Well, and also the fact that the head, I don't have to worry about the head falling out of place or anything, which is typically an issue when you're putting Joe's back together. Look at that. All right. Not nearly the challenge I thought it might be. All right, just tighten it up just enough. And now, not a whole, well, a little bit. Not a ton more swivel, though, just because of the design. I mean, you can see there's not a lot of clearance for it to turn at all. But I love that they gave it this up and down. Very nice. So there it is. Finally, a figure that, you know, I mentioned that Raymar was not on my wish list at all, or at least way, way, way down my wish list. But the Fatal Fluffies had been mentioned many times, even before we were doing Audible Interlude. I wanted Fatal Fluffies. So I am happy to have one in hand. And I got to say, do them in classified. If Super 7 is going to continue Ultimates, I'll buy an Ultimate. Whatever. There's room for more Fatal Fluffies in my collection, but I am thrilled to have this one, or these, since I've got two, in hand right now. And I'm very happy with how they were produced. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Check out Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, wherever you get your podcast, as well as the Needless Things podcast. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.